We're live. So, so what we're just kind of, guys, if you're coming on, Mechelle and I are just chit-chatting about the Odyssey. We're talking about the sailing coming up. She's going to go through the ship and all the good stuff with it. But, everybody I talk to are they're so worried, or not worried, but we so just want to embrace some crew. We just want to, and the obviously Captain Kate and Richard and all those guys getting on the celebrity and all the teary-eyedness of everybody coming together. It was like a family reunion.
Everybody cheering everybody to come on. It was so nice. It made me cry.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason why I'm saying I think if we do go out on the Odyssey, and we now have, I know, like 16 that signed up in September with me.
Wow.
If we could get daytime to work with us to do a live on the ship, and then maybe, to your point, I don't think we're not going to Perfect Day. I just now realized we're doing.
Is it the Southern?
We're doing Labadee, Aruba, Curacao. And then the more days at sea on that ship will make me happy.
Nice. I know.
I think Deborah even said that. Deborah says, I don't care if we go anywhere.
I love my days at sea. I love them.
All right. So hopefully we'll get some people on here in a few minutes. I know we're a little bit early. This is a little bit before time. But this is Travel Talk Tuesday at 2. And this is kind of like, we call it the pre-show, or the chit-chat. Yeah. You guys get lined up. There's a little box below. You can type in your name, or off to the side, type in your name. Let us know you're there.
I'm going to grab my water real quick in case I need it.
Grab your water. I've got my coffee. I'm getting old. I need coffee after lunch. 4th of July is coming up. I'll get in my patriotic mode. Hey, Miss Lois Bridges. We were just talking about you. Miss Weiniger, we definitely were talking about you. We were talking about the Odyssey. There you go.
There I go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So Deborah and Lois is on. They're actually booked on Odyssey in September. So the amigos up in the valley in Virginia, Big Stone Gap. Those guys are all on there with me. So, we're talking about maybe we can do some broadcasting from the ship. How will you guys feel about that?
I think it would be pretty awesome. I would love to see you guys while you're down there. I can't wait to see this ship. I'm so upset that I wasn't.
Did they happen to reschedule you in any way whatsoever?
Not yet. I actually asked about that this morning, and they should be coming up on their second test here within the next week. So we should find out within the next 4 or 5 days when that simulation has been rescheduled for. So we'll see. It's just so ironic that, a week after they got their first set of shots that they came down tested positive. So this doggone virus, I'm ready for it to be. Sorry.
Well, I prayed and prayed and prayed for the dang thing to go away. And thank God for the vaccine. That has just opened so much up for us. And, it's like you said, it's always, because we still have flu, we still have cancer, we still have colds, we still have all that stuff. Yeah. It's just, this is going to be something. And thank God we've got a vaccine, just like, who was it I talked to? I think it was David Price. They're the ones that's going, and he says, you know what? He says, I got more bullet holes in my arms. He says, I'm vaccinated for everything. What is it? Shingles. When you get to be our age, okay, they got shots for everything.
Exactly. I actually got to get my shingles this year. I was supposed to get it last year and didn't.
Oh, yeah. That's the senior package. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You do all those goodies, and all we need to do is figure out how to, after we went down to Margaritaville, maybe we can get one of them, maybe we can like a Margaritaville shot or something. He had like those, like Miss Griffin's on. I turned her on to mango margaritas.
Oh, those are yummy.
Yeah. We had such a good time. And it was just, ships were not back in the water, but we all needed a trip. We just needed a trip. I needed a trip. I needed to be able to say, yeah, I think I like what I'm doing. I'm going to go do it now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Get the toes in the sand. It was funny, there was a video that came out earlier this week as the celebrity Edge took off. I don't know if you've seen it, but the little kid that was on there, they said, well, what's the best part of the ship so far? He goes, being away from home.
Yeah.
I think we all can feel his sentiments.
Yeah, and I think there was even somebody was at the airport says just put us on a plane, take us anywhere, just get us out here. I'm kind of at that. I mean, even though Cancun was back in May, I'm still kind of like, okay, all right, I'm getting antsy. Well, the holidays coming up. I'm not going anywhere, but we're waiting for Alaska. Okay, so yeah, and so these guys, Judy's on the Serenade. Judy over here. Hey, Judy.
Hey, Judy.
Yeah, and Judy said Cancun rocked, so she's headed up to Alaska with me. Deborah's going to be with me in Alaska. Hey, Miss Sarah.
I'm just so grateful that there's going to be an Alaska season. It's just been so crazy, and the back and forth with all these protocols, and it's just so heartwarming that the Alaska folks are going to have an Alaska season and not have to do without. And same with the people in the Caribbean, our friends down there in the Caribbean, wherever they may be. It's nice just to
I have to tell you, and especially for these guys over here that might be, that may or may not be going to Alaska with me. But when Cole and I did the cruise tour in 2019 with Royal Caribbean, the guide on that trip, he and I kind of, connected up. So I'm his Facebook buddy. So because he's back to being on the bus and stuff, I guess he's working with somebody else. But the animals had last year off in Alaska. He had it off. Well, they're like, he's like doing a whole video of whales, schools of whale coming out and moose and the babies. So I'm telling these guys over here, buckle up, Buttercup. We're going to go see some, all kinds of good stuff. So we're getting excited about going there. And yeah.
You know what? This is a great time of the year to be thinking about Alaska because it's starting to get real hot here in the South, and it'll be a nice adjustment to get up there with that beautiful weather.
I was watching the weather. It was high 59 in Denali yesterday.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna like it. So anyway, this is 202. It is Travel Talk Tuesday at 2 with Kathy and Mechelle. Jesus, we just might as well call it a double here. But I asked for Mechelle to come back simply for two reasons. One, she should have been on the Odyssey and back by then, but things didn't work out that way, and I'm sure Mechelle will walk you through what happened. But I have so many people. I said to Mechelle, it's kind of like put the carrot in front of the horse, because it's like, okay, well, we had planned a transatlantic for 21. Well, that got pulled away. And then the carrot went out that was going to go to Israel, and that got pulled out. And now we had the carrot that you were going to get on it, and that got pulled out. Well, you know what? Well, we're not all. There's 16 of us that is going in September. Yes, and that was just at the last minute. It's like, that's it. That's perfect timing. I want to go. Who wants to go with me? I love all you guys that are going with me. We are going to have a blast. I cannot wait. So, and then I had a lot of people asking me about, well, what about the transatlantic? We still have spots on the transatlantic. So I said to Mechelle, just whet our appetite even more than it is out there. I want to know what's going on. So I'm going to quit yakking here, and I'm going to turn it over to Mechelle, who is my representative, my dear friend from Royal Caribbean. So take it away, Mechelle.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, it's been a moving target. And like you said, the carrot with the horse. It's like, okay, we're going here, and no, we got to go here. And we realized that I think that the main word is Gumby. If y'all remember Gumby, you got to stay flexible because these protocols keep changing, the ships keep changing, and I just feel like I've been Gumby for the past couple of months. But the good news is we're coming back, man. We are coming back, and the protocols, although they keep changing, I think last week, they had changed a handful of times in just Nassau alone. So with the cruises coming in with the Adventure, but again, you just got to roll with the punches, and I think that although cruising may not be for everyone right now, it is for a lot of us, and a lot of us cannot wait to be back on these ships. And who is even more excited than we could possibly be are our crew members. They are ecstatic to see passengers being coming back on the ships. And, I had 2 agents, actually one of yours, Jason, and then last week I had another travel agent that was on the Adventure, Dawn, and they were just like, "Oh, it feels so good to be back." I'm like, I'm so jealous. But
Jason's so crazy. He's sitting there going, he says, I'm sick, Kathy. It's like I'm rolling my suitcase down in the airport, just rolling my suitcase, and I'm going, dang, this feels good. I'm going, really?
Things in life, right?
Rolling your suitcase in the airport, you're happy.
So we had the test cruises on the Freedom of the Seas, which will be the first ship here out of our home port of USA, out of South Florida. It ran really well. We got a final approval today, just this morning. So the ship is for sure leaving. I think it's July the 3rd, and it's going to have a big celebration in Perfect Day at Coco Cay on July the 4th, which will be fun for those folks there. If I'm not mistaken, just about all of the sailings for July are now sold out. For every ship that we are going to be, so we're not the only ones when that kind of stuff happens, even at reduced capacity.
Aren't you guys? You guys are the only ones that are sailing, right? I mean, I'm not hearing any other cruise line sailing right now. It's just Royal and Celebrity, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I think that there might be 1 or 2 other ones, but they have to complete those simulated cruises first. So I just found out that the Odyssey, we're hoping to find out about that simulated cruise. And what a simulated cruise is kind of...
Oh, sorry about that. And Allie, come here.
Anyway, what a simulated cruise is kind of like a dress rehearsal for the Odyssey. And all the protocols that need to be followed by that the CDC has put forth. So some of us will be volunteered for the unvaccinated, and some of us will be volunteered for the vaccinated, even though all of us will be vaccinated by the time that we get on the Odyssey for the simulated cruise. Some will be targeted unvaccinated and vaccinated. The CDC will ride along with us on that simulated cruise to make sure that all the protocols are being followed. And then hopefully within a week or so of that, if not less, we'll get the final approval for the Odyssey to kickstart right there out of South Florida. Very excited. As I mentioned, the Freedom just got her approval this morning, so she'll be sailing that July the 2nd. And then I got, I think I might share this with you guys. And, see if I can pull it back up.
All right, I see it.
You do? Okay, terrific. So if I could get this to show big screen, let's see. Here we go. So the Freedom, again, will be starting from Miami on July the 2nd. And then the Mariner from Port Canaveral, August 23rd. And both of those have been revitalized, so very excited. Of course, we can't forget about the Odyssey. The Odyssey will debut at the end of July. She's put off a month, obviously, because of what incurred. And then the Allure out of Port Canaveral, which is why I'm wearing my Allure of the Sea shirt today, out of Port Canaveral. That'll be the first time that she's actually sailed out of Port Canaveral. So very exciting to have the Allure visiting Port Canaveral, Florida. And then we've got the Symphony beginning August the 14th out of Miami, and then the Independence out of Galveston. And this year we'll have the Harmony. That's why the Harmony is not in Port Canaveral, because she'll be over there in Barcelona and Rome. And she's going to do some European cruises over there beginning August the 15th. So for each of these places that we're leaving out of, whether it be Miami or Port Canaveral or Galveston or Barcelona or Rome, there's different protocols that are put into place. Mainly the same for Florida, but different for, like, when we sail out of Galveston, different when we do the Alaska cruises, different when we do Barcelona and Rome. So if there's ever even better time to have an excellent travel agent like Kathy, now is the time, because there are so many protocols that are out there.
And it's even going to be different for the Alaska guys that are on that. I mean, that are already booked on the Serenade. I mean, I just literally hung up, and it's like you said, things are changing so quickly. It's like the cabins still haven't been assigned. They're coming, et cetera, et cetera. So, we just got to be, like you said, Gumby is truly, we have to be very mobile and flexible on that. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be, I think, for these first couple of months coming out, because they want to make sure that everybody's doing it healthy. That's the main thing. Main name of the game right there is keeping everyone healthy and safe and feeling like they're comfortable on a cruise, keeping them isolated. So even in the instance where we had the two young children, I think they were 14 years old, if I'm not mistaken, on the adventure last week that tested positive. By 9:30 that evening, they had been off the ship. They were already in the comforts of their home back in the United States. So the protocols definitely are working, and thankfully nobody else tested positive, as that was mainly a vaccinated cruise. Royal Caribbean's taken a two-pathway approach to our return to service, and that's vaccinated and unvaccinated. We take a lot of families on our Royal Caribbean ships, no matter where they're at in the world. So in order to accommodate that, we have to allow for vaccinated and unvaccinated, because the children are not allowed to have that vaccine at this point in time.
And that's in Florida only, right?
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, so we've got the two pathway, and so the kids down in on the adventure, like I said, and they had hung out with some other young teenage boys, as teenagers do, but they tested negative. So, and the other thing we've got to keep in mind, although it didn't happen in this case, is those false positives, right? So even though they test positive, there's a certain percentage that are false positive. So I'm sure we'll get some of those along the way. We're just hoping that the media will be nice to us as we turn back after these 15, 16 months of not sailing, knowing and assuring everybody that we're doing the best that we possibly can to make sure that everybody's going to be remain safe. With that set aside now, yes, we've got the Odyssey. The Odyssey is here. The crew members were vaccinated up in Port Canaveral, Florida, and then moseyed on down to Fort Lauderdale, where the ship resides now, which is pretty exciting. You can see here the aft end of the ship with the sky pad and the flow rider and that ripcord by iFi and the North Star. There's just so much for everybody to do.
Now the iPad thing, this is where this ship is a little so exciting, because it's morphing a lot of things that a typical quantum class won't have, right?
Yeah,
so that pad, that round thing off the back is totally new to this class of ship, right?
It is, and it is so much fun. You look completely ridiculous while you're doing it, but sometimes
I do that daily, so I don't.
I did it, and I was jumping. It's a bungee trampoline, so you're hooked up with all the bungees, and then there's a trampoline below you, and then we add these cool virtual glasses onto your face, and you can be a candy crusher, or you can be a rock star, or you can be a soccer player. There's all these different games that you can choose from. And I think when I did it, I was the soccer player. I don't know why. I should have not done that, because I'm not even athletic in real life, let alone virtually. So I'm sure that I looked completely ridiculous up there, kicking and with my head and not touching with your arms. And it's just a lot of fun. And that's complimentary. And of course, it's got the flow rider and the ripcord by iFly, the simulator of the skydiving. And then, of course, the incredible North Star that accommodates, I want to say, up to 15 people, that it gives you those amazing views way up high and over the ship. And lots of other things on the ship. We've added the lime and coconut, which we've done with a lot of the revamp of the other ships as well, which is just a fun and exciting type of beachy type of bar that's out there, tropical, by the pool, and with all the loud colors and kind of fun. We've also added Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. So we've kind of added the wine bar and Giovanni's together, and they have the wood-fired pizzas. Oh, gotta love that, right? And then, of course, the solarium, which is probably one of my most favorite places on the Quantum class vessels. They're just so pretty back there. A local fresh with the tacos and the guacamole and the chips and dip and the quesadillas. And then, of course, the infamous bumper cars, which I have a picture in here of somebody who wasn't supposed to be visiting the ships. But maybe we'll come to that in just a minute. So the whole pool deck on top has been reimagined and redone from the other Quantum class vessels. So here you can see where the big screen is. You can see where the coconut and lime as it's upstairs and downstairs. You can see these little cabanas that are out here on the edge. And then, of course, the hot tubs and jacuzzis that are there. It looks fresh. It looks fun. They've got some neat and exciting new types of chairs that are out there. They've got the chairs that sit in the pool now, which is also very nice. And then here's the solarium. Well, Kathy, how did you get in there?
Me? I'm in there?
Yes.
Yeah, I wish.
You see yourself over here?
Oh my gosh, is that me?
I knew that you wanted to be on so badly, so I thought that we would get a picture of you wanting to be there. So I know you're sitting over there on the side, wanting to be in this solarium, inviting everybody on board. So this is a beautiful picture of the solarium area. Yeah, did you have a good time, Kathy?
Yes, I had a wonderful time. I'm about to go get my suit on so that I can get in the water.
I don't blame you. And then, of course, what we had talked about.
Oh my gosh! Oh, there I am!
As I had mentioned, and with the skydiving, ripcord by iFly, and the flow rider. And outside the flow rider, I had to say that's probably one of the best seats in the house. Because you get to see these kids or young adults, or sometimes older adults. They get out there and they hot dog it around, and the wipeouts are just hilarious and quite funny. So I think that's one of the best seats in the house. That's under that water is like a big bungee trampoline right there. You just bounce up and it bounces your butt right back up to the top. So it's a lot.
I did that one time. It did bounce my butt right back up against that wall.
I bet it did.
I got to
we have here the seat.
Oh, Denali's in the bumper cars.
Now, although we only allow service dogs on board, Denali was wishing he was there in the bumper cars. They're cruising around on the red bumper car. This is one of the new things also in the Seaplex is that up from the bumper cars is Playmakers, which is the sports bar. And there's going to be hundreds of TVs up there, so you could be watching a game, playing Connect 4, while you're watching your kids or the other adults downstairs with the bumper cars, or maybe it's going to be the laser tag that they're playing, and you can watch them all doing that downstairs as well. So I think it's going to be kind of a cool, neat thing, this whole new Seaplex area redesigned. So I think that'll be kind of fun. Did you eat in Playmakers last time?
Playmakers is one of my favorite spots. I mean, and because on the Oasis class, it's off the back of the ship. But here, that's going to be amazing to be able to watch all that activity, plus, be able to watch the games and things. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I think so too. It's got the 4D virtual reality experience. It's called Zone Zero, and that's what that is. So that's also going to be something new that's on here. Now, I've never done anything like that, so I don't know what to tell you a whole lot about.
I don't know. It looks like I could hurt myself.
These virtual games, man, they get me every time. So, see you later, Denali. Okay, so then we have new Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar, as I had said. So it's kind of got this real kind of cool concept open there with the wood fire pizzas and the wine next to it. Of course, we have tons of different areas around the ship, in and around the ship, that you'll be able to eat, whether it be teppanyakis or Chops Grill, Wonderland, which is an amazing experience. It's kind of like a fairy tale experience. Have you ate there before, Kathy?
Yeah, I want to say it was on the Anthem. I think we did the Wonderland. It's a magic show with food. It's the only thing I can say. It's a magic show with food. Yeah.
Yes. And it starts off by they give you a menu, and it's blank. So you have to take a paintbrush, a wet paintbrush, and as you wet the board, it becomes your menu for the night. So it's like magic, you're right. And then, of course, the chef's table, which is an exclusive event for roughly 14 people, where the chef comes out and prepares each course with different wine. And it's really a neat experience. And then my favorite, of course, would be 270 is the venue. And this is on the aft end of the ship. This area gives you 270 degrees of windows. And I want to say that it's like 2 stories tall. And during the night or during the daytime, it's a beautiful view of the aft end of the ship. So whatever port you're taking off from, or if you're just out at sea, it's absolutely breathtaking views. But then at night, all of those windows turn digital. And there is a show that's put on that's both digitally and in front of you and interactive. So maybe the table, like this table right here, if you see that's highlighted in blue down here on the left, there's somebody that probably would drop from this circle to this circle right there in front of you while you're having your drink. And there could be somebody that is walking beside you. So it's very interactive type show, really amazing. Kathy, I know you like this show too, right? In 270?
Everything in 270. And that's the thing about when we're those days at sea. The one thing I remembered were the special shows that they would put on in 270. Just amazing stuff. And not to mention, it just turns into this very laid back, relaxed living room type atmosphere that you can just go down and have an afternoon drink or whatever. The bistro's right behind you. Beautiful views of the water and things. And then it turns into this. It's an amazing venue. I just love it.
In the show that they put on, up here at the top where you see 270, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are robots. Those are robotic screens that also partake in the show. And I'll just give you a little bit of a sneak info on, we have taken these crates of dancers that are inside the crates, and the crates are full of water. And so the background is going to be water on the big screen, but it's also water inside what they put in each side of one of those robots as the picture, and they put on this incredible show. I've seen some highlights from it. I am just super excited to see it. And then, of course, we have musical, which is a lot of fun. It's kind of like a live concert that they put in on there. I've seen the Journey tribute band in there. We've seen the Beatles tribute band in there. Bon Jovi tribute band. So they have all these bands that play there live, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's unlike any other venue that we have. Both of these are 270 and Music Hall. So lots of entertainment on board for certain. So yep, the Odyssey is sailing. The 6 and 8 night Caribbean. Of course, you're on that 8 night with 2 nights, actually 4 nights at sea. Oh, you are going to Coco Cay. Are you going to that one, or are you going to the one at the bottom?
No, I'm going to the one at the bottom.
Okay, Falmouth, and then Aruba, Curacao, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 nights of cruising, 4 days. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I know that. So this is why everybody, if you guys want to know, with September, and I think we got some questions over here, we'll run back through them. The September 11th, I am going to be on that baby, and there's 16 of you that are coming with me so far. So it's not that it's a group because this all happened so quickly, but there's 16, and I can bring more. So you guys, if you want to get on this amazing ship, you need to call me, because the prices are FIT. So it's currently the prevailing rate, and they're running. What are they running right now, Mechelle? The 60% off.
Yes, we've got the 60% off. We sure do. And I'm not sure that. Well, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think we have any group space on this particular.
It was too quick. It was.
Yeah,
I just said I'm getting on her before she moved somewhere else.
I don't blame you. And you'll be on the inaugural season still, because these are the first sailings as she begins in July. So this is going to be for the next year her inaugural year. So you'll be able to say you've been on the inaugural season of the Odyssey of the Seas. They jumped around
Yes.
from Rome to Israel and over to the Caribbean. So it's we're very excited to welcome the Odyssey to our fleet, and we're super excited for everybody to see her. I saw some live pictures of her coming into Port Canaveral when they came in for the crew to be vaccinated, and then I saw some other live pictures as she was coming into Fort Lauderdale, and I can tell you that the ship itself is very breathtaking. And new on the Odyssey as well, you'll see that the word Odyssey of the Seas is now very large and brilliant on the side of the ship. So I guess that'll be something new that's coming to Royal Caribbean, where typically the names just, simply put on the side. This is some pretty big work.
Now, she's going to live in the Caribbean. Okay, she's going to live in the Caribbean up until April probably of 2022, and then she's going to go back to Rome, and she's going to spend her main season over in Rome.
Wow.
So, guys, we are doing a transatlantic. If you can't do September with me, and you want to go with the group, we are doing the transatlantic. I still have group space, I believe. And that one is leaving on Halloween. So you guys know what we'll be doing for Halloween. I can envision all kinds of weird people actually getting checked, whose face recognitions may be a little hard that day.
Have you already got?
We're also going to do a pre-Rome, possibly pre-Italy. So I've got some ideas around that. So if you guys are interested in that, I can't imagine a better ship to cross the Atlantic in than this one, with all of the entertainment and things to do. It's just going to be great.
And the views from 270. I mean, on those days at sea, that's just the place to hang out. It's just beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I think that taking her into Rome is going to be pretty exciting. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm so glad that you have the opportunity to take her out and take that transatlantic cruise. So that's something else. Well, on the next thing that I have is that what we are recommending throughout this new thing with COVID now is in our return to service, is that everybody download the Royal Caribbean app prior to them going. This Royal Caribbean app will be a way of mobile checking in. Also, your muster drill will take place on your phone or in your TV in your cabin, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Dining reservations, any shore excursions that you purchase, it's going to show up on the app. And then there'll also be the QR codes in the different dining rooms and the food venues if you want something to eat, that you can then swipe your phone over and the menu will come up on your phone. But more importantly, as you're checking in, all of your health questionnaire that you have to fill out, all of the your passport information, the time that you're flying in or driving in, the information about when you should come down to the pier to board the ship, all of that now is coming through this Royal Caribbean app. So it's very important, and it really expedites the whole check-in process because there's no paperwork involved, right? It's already all there. So you'll want to download that before you cruise. As I had just mentioned, I didn't know I had the second one on here, but it'll give you also information about pre-arrival stuff that you have to take and complete, like that health questionnaire that's on there. I think that has to be done between 24 and 48 hours prior to the sailing date. You'll receive emails about notifications if you need to take, if your shore excursion has been delayed, or if you have to come to the pier 30 minutes before that, your original time, or 30 minutes after it. It's also going to give you the protocols that are there. So this Royal app is really become a very important part of our return to service. So definitely download that before you cruise with Kathy. You can also upload your passport information, et cetera on here. So that's that. And then the e-muster. So this is one of the best things I think since sliced bread. You no longer have to go to your muster station to muster, right? How great is that, Kathy?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So instead, anytime before we leave, you need to watch this briefing, the muster briefing, either from the convenience of your phone or from the convenience of the TV in your stateroom. And you can check off who you're watching it with. So if Kathy and I were traveling together, she would check myself off as well as her. And then you simply go to your muster station. So in this case, it would be E2. And then they check you in, make sure that you've seen the video. They look you up because it'll check you in that way. And then they answer any questions that you may have, and probably will show you how to put on that vest if you need it. But it's no more crowds, or there's no more bars that are going to be shut down during it. It really adds the flexibility of being able to go to and do that muster, drill whenever you want. So this is pretty exciting. I really am excited about that. No longer waiting outside for 15, 20 minutes below while it's
Sweat is dripping down your face. Yeah.
Yes. So also right now what we've got going on is the Crown and Anchor double point offer. So Kathy, all your ladies and gentlemen over there, they have cruised with us several times. So anything that they have sailing before September the 30th of 2022, they get double Crown and Anchor points. And that's anything booked by the end of September. So we just extended that to the end of September of this year, that if you book and you sail before the end of September next year, you receive those double points. So that could put some folks up into, from Emerald to Diamond, or Diamond Plus to Diamond to Diamond.
I'm working on Pinnacle.
I love it. And then, as you had mentioned, we've got the July offers, which is the BOGO 60, 30% off third and fourth. And then there's a kicker program, earn up to $150 off as well at your stateroom. And that's all I got. I'm going to stop sharing with this with you. It's taken up so much of your time.
Yeah. Just to let you guys know, again, I can go in and see what's available. It's not like I'm holding grip space on this September sailing, but I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that is just going to be so much fun to get back on a new ship. I want to get on a brand new ship. Plus, you got to keep in mind the transatlantic.
Yes.
So before we go, and also everybody, we have several things. Oh, here comes the barking dog. Denali doesn't realize that he was actually been on bumper cars. He's just coming back from the bumper cars. Yeah, that's what and he's yawning because he's been working so hard on the bumper cars. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So anyway, couple of things I want to remind everybody. July the 8th. Okay, July the 8th is going to be what? Travel Club, our first one, Mechelle, our first Travel Club back since the pandemic. Yes. And I'm doing a special presentation. I want you guys to, number one, help me spread the word, but a special presentation on Alaska. Mechelle knows how much I love Alaska. And I have put together 2 Royal Caribbean cruise tour groups that we're going to talk about. But more importantly, and especially for some of you guys that are getting ready to go to Alaska with me, I think you even are going to be more excited because I took all my pictures of the different ports and things of where I've been. I put them in a map, and I think this is going to be probably the most inclusive but kind of fun as to what, if you want to know anything about Alaska, you'll know it when you walk out of there. You'll know what to book or where you want to go or what you want to do. So we'll share all that. So Alaska, guys, if you got anybody out there with it on their bucket list, they got to come to Travel Club. And a plus on Travel Club, I have a few other surprises. We'll have to go back and visit Cancun again. So for you guys that are there. And there's a few other things. We're going to go through the other trips that we have. But it's just going to be so good to see people that I haven't seen in 15 years and hug them. I'm vaccinated. I can hug them.
It felt like 15 years.
That's 15 years. Yeah, 15 years it has been. All right, so Sheila McCulley, she's so excited that cruising is back. She loves cruising. Miss Beverly's on them now. Miss Beverly and Laura J. I think she tried to get in here a few minutes ago. They are on the Odyssey in September with us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Carolyn, they just came back from Cancun with us. Lois is coming. And Lois says, do you know the capacity of the Odyssey in September? So that's
We haven't announced it. Yeah, we haven't announced it. It's funny because I didn't even know what the capacity of the Adventure was when the Adventure was taken out. And now we know it was about 30%. So I think that it'll be a low capacity because the ship will just be starting there in end of July. I think July 31st, right?
Yeah.
So in August, September. So that'll only be a month later. So yeah, it'll probably be, you'll probably feel like it's a ghost ship. Honestly, I have to say that I have been on the ship many times when there's been just the sales team or just a couple hundred on these simulated cruises that we just rehearse for when we bring out a new ship, and it's pretty cool. And the places that you're going to, I mean, it's like a ghost ship because you really got to tell it, okay, I'm going to meet you at this lounge at this time because you don't have. It's like you have the ship to yourself. And the crew loves it. They love taking care of you.
And one of the pictures that Jason took when he was on the Adventure of the Sea, he took in the morning. He took a picture of the pool and the chairs around the pool, and he said, "Guys, do you notice anything different? There's no towels holding the seats. There's no towel holders. There's no chair hoggers because there are plenty of chairs for everybody."
Yes, yes.
So I love it. So yes, that's what I'm looking forward to, not only on that ship, but also when we're up in Alaska. So I think it's just going to be so much more enriching where we're going to be. So we'll be good. Let's see who else we got on here. We got Miss Vicky Short, and we got Piggly Wiggly with us. That's a fins up there. By the way, I just put in for the Margaritaville. I did get a contract now, so the contract's coming out, and we're going to start labeling a lot of people in on that Margaritaville in December. But yeah, that's a long story. I'll have to tell you about fins up, Piggly Wiggly. Yeah. What can I tell you?
I should have went.
Connie and Bob is on. Gary. Now, Gary was down in Cancun with me. Miss Sarah House, right? Is Bridge over? She's a Bridge girl every day. And then, of course, Judy and Deanne and those guys. We saw those. So it doesn't look like we have any other questions here, guys. So please, 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 a couple of different things. Please do me a favor and like this video. Share it with your friends and stuff for me to keep doing Travel Talk Tuesday. Spread the word. I am so, July is usually our, for Travel Club, when we used to have it regularly, was usually the low season because a lot of people were traveling. And I think a lot of people are out traveling because finally we're free. We can do that. So I'm hoping my fingers that we'll have a big crowd there. I know you're going on vacation, right?
I am. We have a family reunion coming up. And we're going to be out in Sevierville. So we'll have, I think there's 35 of us that will be out there near Gatlinburg. And then I'll be flying up to Michigan for a good friend of mine's daughter's wedding. We're to that point in time where all their kids are getting married.
Well, hey, mine just got married and moving into Oregon, but we won't go into that. All right, guys, you guys be good, be safe, be sane, and we will see you at Travel Club. Thank you, Mechelle, so much. Bye, guys.